Got that audio on mumble.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to a sad episode of Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. I'm Van.
I'm Jeezy.
Let's go ahead and start with the ass whoopings. I didn't say which ones in particular. I just said we'll start with. I like the wavering, the little waver in the cry. The only thing you have to do after that is when you can't, you're crying so hard and you can't breathe right anymore.
We'll cover that more in the Packers section, but there were ass whoopings to go around.
Week 12 scores: Texans 20, Colts 17.
We called that one. We said the Houston was going to bounce back after getting beat up by the Ravens.
We said that, yeah. Bears 19, Giants 14.
Way to go, Bears. Beat those G-men up.
Brown Clowns continuing to un-asshole me. 41-24 over the Dolphins.
What's an un-asshole? It's like an implosion, maybe.
I'm sorry, I'll get it for you. Ass whooping. Steelers 16, Bengals 10. Is every game the Bengals lose an ass whooping?
I don't know.
Mason Rudolph got benched.
I saw that. That's what being bad.
Bills 20, Broncos 3.
That's pretty much an ass whooping.
Pretty much. Saints 34, Panthers 31 on a botched missed short field goal by the Panthers. Fucking clowns.
I hate to side with Booger McFarland and cite him 2 weeks in a row, but literally the Panthers went out and lost that game. The Saints did not win.
More games in the NFL are lost than they are won. That's one of those things you should like crochet onto a pillow, a throw pillow for your couch.
I have to pick up my needlepoint again.
Buccaneers 35, Falcons 22.
I was surprised by that.
Well, yeah, because you picked the Falcons.
Fuck.
Jets 34, Raiders 3.
I was surprised by that one too, actually.
I got you. Ass whooping.
I'm just not in the ass whooping mood this week.
Don't worry, we'll get to that one. Seahawks 17, Eagles 9. Redskins 19, Lions 16.
Ass whooping.
I mean, basically, fun fact, that was the Redskins' first home win since week 7 of 2018.
Yeah, and Dwayne Haskins is so excited about the win that he goes and takes selfies with the crowd and forgets to take the final knee.
Yep.
So Case Keenum gets sent in to take the knee.
Great job, Case Keenum. Titans 42, Jags 20.
Ass whooping.
Now you finally got one. Patriots 13, Cowboys 9.
That shit was a slop fest.
Just one touchdown.
Very, very wet game.
Patriots have won 21 consecutive home games, including the playoffs.
Wow. And that's an active streak?
That's an active streak. And the final score Sunday night, 49ers 37, Packers 8.
Ass whooping.
Ass whooping. Oh my God, it was so bad, but we'll get to how bad it was later. I don't want to talk about it.
I think it hurt me more than it hurt them. Or maybe it hurt them more than it hurt me. I can't tell. It just hurt so bad.
It just hurt everyone.
It hurts.
Don't worry, everyone. You'll hear my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory later, too.
It's about time we get that Reynolds rep alert.
Overall scores are still tied. Van and Jeezy both at 43, 21, and 1.
We were both wrong on our wild card picks.
I think it just means that we're approximately getting, 2 games right for every one we get wrong. And I'm not sure.
Better than the guys on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if we're geniuses. Well, we probably are. That's what it is, yeah. So a little bit of new news here. I don't know if you saw this. Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea made NFL history by catching a touchdown. How, you ask?
How? I did ask.
Because he's fat.
What?
Heaviest player in NFL history to score a touchdown. He is 6'4", 346 pounds.
I'm going to tell him you said he was fat, and he's going to fuck you up.
Don't tell him, please.
I'm going to be like, I thought he was big boned.
Stop it.
He looked huge to me in a macho way.
He's going to be really mad.
And then he's going to find you. I'm going to text him your address.
He's a beefcake. He surpassed the other person that had the top two besides that. Jonathan Ogden had one in 96 and 03 at 345 pounds.
Wow. 346 pounds. So he passes him only by 1 pound.
Yeah. You know where Refrigerator Perry comes in on this list?
No.
Number 3 at 330 pounds.
Ah, yes.
Sorry. 335. Give him his extra 5 he's due.
Yeah, Van.
Oh, fuck. It's got their BMIs on here, too. Jonathan Ogden's BMI, 37. Refrigerator Perry's BMI, 43.
Fuck. What is... Hold up. 43 BMI.
How many percent fat is that?
Let's see what this says.
Is that 43? It's not.
I'm going to WebMD. This will tell me something. It just says obese. It starts at 30.
Is he in the morbid range?
He would be considered morbidly obese, yes.
I think everybody on that list would be considered morbidly obese.
It says 30 is obese, starting at obese. You know what's ridiculous?
Obese or a beast?
I'm about to go on obese mode. 10 more pounds to not be obese and only be overweight.
I think I'm in the same boat right now.
Like I told somebody at work, I was like, only 10 pounds till I'm only overweight.
my little smartwatch thing has got an app for it, and when you put your weight in for the day, it tells what your BMI is, and I've been solidly in the 30.3 to 30.5 range. Another amazing thing, though, Frank Gore passes Barry Sanders on the all-time rushing list, putting him at number 3.
Wow.
15,289 yards from 05 to 2019.
I told you Frank Gore was going to the Hall of Fame, and you're like, really? I don't know. He's gotta go.
He's averaging over 1,000 yards a year. That's really good.
So, in case you're wondering, the NFL leaders, all-time leaders, number 1, Emmitt Smith with 18,355 yards
in the same amount of time as it's taken Frank Gore to get his 15,000.
Yeah, you're right. 3,000 more yards over 15 years. What does that work out to be? 200 yards more per year?
Something like that. I mean, this list is full of Hall of Famers, right? Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, number 2, Frank Gore, Barry Sanders, number 4, Curtis Martin. I didn't know he was in the Hall of Fame. Number 5, Adrian Peterson, who will be in the Hall of Fame at 6. LaDainian Tomlinson at 7, Jerome Bettis 8, Eric Dickerson 9, Tony Dorsett 10, Jim Brown 11, Marshall Faulk. I didn't know he was at the top of the list at 12. Actually, I just saw that Marshall Faulk made like the NFL top 100 years whatever team for running backs.
That makes sense. I mean, they part of the greatest show on turf. They were serious.
Anyways, good on Frank Gore. Good for him.
I'm surprised at number 22 on the all-time list, actually.
Oh, my list doesn't go that far. I'm going to hit the list here. LaShawn McCoy. Oh, damn.
LaShawn McCoy, number 22 all-time.
Oh, damn.
11,000 yards. 11,006, according to this. I don't know when this was last updated.
He's going to pass OJ this year. OJ is 21 with 11,236.
Yeah, he's only 230 yards away.
It's Pro Football Reference, so it got updated immediately.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Tiki Barber, 27. Remember him? Damn.
Yeah, that dude was a beast.
Look at this. Amon Green, number 38.
Amon Green had some good seasons. He really did.
He was number 38. Hold on a second. He was number 38 with 9,205 yards. Good for him.
I want to see who rounds out number 100. Bill Brown. Never heard of him.
I mean, there's a handful of active players that are pretty high up on this list still here. Anyways, good for you, Frank Gore. Good for you.
I mean, Frank Gore, he's Hall of Fame in my book. When he was back in San Francisco, he was incredible there. He was good for the Colts. Who's he playing for now? He's playing for Buffalo, I think.
Frank Gore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been a valuable player everywhere he's gone. And he's much older now, but he's one of the few backs that have been very durable for a long career. I mean, the only other active back I can think of that had a career like that is Adrian Peterson.
This is wonderful. If you go to his thing on Pro Football Focus and you click it, it's got like nicknames. His nickname is The Inconvenient Truth. Whereas Adrian Peterson is All Day or Purple Jesus. LaShawn McCoy is obviously just Shady
McCoy.
That's all I have to say about the new stuff, I guess. I would just like to, sadly cheese it over.
And now I'm cheesing my way Back to you, Van.
We need like some slow piano music.
With a burning cheese inside.
That was like a burn. Speaking of burned cheese, it was like a damn burned cheese pizza. That's how that game felt. Like, oh, I'm so excited for this frozen pizza. I'm so stoked for it. And it comes out and you forgot about it for like 3 minutes too long, and it's fucking nasty burned.
Well, when it comes to burns, we're about to experience these due to a returning guest, RamJam, coming on to talk all about Niners versus the now fully grated cheese. Hey, RamJam, welcome to the show, man. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What up, RamJam? Yeah, well, you're lucky we had you back after that bullshit yesterday.
You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to get an invite or not, so I do appreciate it, given the circumstances.
I mean, I'm just going to go out there and say it. Like, I felt like first quarter was full-on conspiracy.
Reynolds rep alert. Reynolds rep alert. What's the conspiracy, Van?
I'm not wrong, dude. Almost every positive play, positive yardage, like defensive stop in the first quarter was nullified by a penalty, most of which were phantom calls, which Chris Collinsworth agreed for the most part.
So what about the other 3 quarters?
We played like dog shit.
Okay.
I'm not denying those 2 were awful. I'm just saying that first quarter seemed to me to be highly suspicious. The NFL wanted that game to go a certain way. Like the ticky-tack bullshit, right? Like on that first drive, Devontae Adams getting hit with an unsportsmanlike for chest bumping some dude a little bit. Like, whereas like 3 plays later, when you guys had the ball, I saw Emmanuel Sanders straight up shove Darnell Savage like next to where the ball was tackled, like right in plain view of the refs. And Emmanuel Sanders just threw his hands up like, "What? I didn't do anything. Not me. And like that probably looked like 10 times worse than what Devontae did, and no flag.
I'm just saying, I thought the Packers looked so bad that you could have played defense, those 4 front linemen versus our whole team, it looked like. It just looked like there was no chance for plays to happen. On offense, I mean. And then when we were on defense and the Niners are on offense, they basically it was like throw to Kittle every down.
I think it's pretty obvious how to beat the Packers in 2019. Either have a tight end, just any one of them.
Have a tight end.
Just have a tight end. Or just throw a crossing route across the middle for 15 yards. It doesn't matter. We're not going to stop it.
All right, RamJam, we got you on the show. What do you have to say for your team?
I have to say that, and Jeezy, we talked about this a little bit this morning, after 6 years of pretty much straight misery, I would say I've been humbled. So I've been keeping the trash talk to a minimum just because I've been on the other side of the blowout. So, but I will say that they just continue to impress the hell out of me. I mean, I'm sitting there, we're up 10-0, 13-0, and I'm thinking, all right, at some point Aaron Rodgers is going to do his thing, and this is going to be a game, and next thing I know, it's the second half, and I'm just sitting there.
Boy, were you wrong.
Somewhat in shock on my couch, and yeah, I just, yeah, that's it. I was left speechless at some points during the game, to be quite honest with you. Having George Kittle back obviously made a huge difference in that offense. I mean, there's no denying that, and the defense just continues to do its thing. It's impressive.
I just cannot believe. I mean, if you're in the preparations and you know that there's even a chance that George Kittle is going to be active for that game, don't you prep for him a little bit?
We haven't prepped for a tight end all year. We haven't prepped for, I don't know, anybody to throw the ball all year, really. And here's the thing, is to me, and this is not to take anything away from the 49ers because they played a hell of a game. They definitely outplayed us. But to me, at some point after probably it's been like 9-10 weeks now of some dog shit in our secondary. At some point it comes down to coaching. When time and time again, the middle of the field is wide open, that's just coaching. That's just putting your players in poor positions, in my opinion. I give no more, like after this shit again, I'm giving no more like slack for the coaches. But okay, on the other side of the ball though, your front 4 is so good, like just straight up. I was telling Jeezy earlier, couldn't count how many 1 or less than 1 yard runs there were where like Jamal Williams or Aaron Jones just got met at the line of scrimmage and just stuffed.
Also, this was the most times I think I ever remember. We'll have to get a count and see where it ranks in history. But I cannot remember a time where there were more just a down and 20, 25 or more yards to go. Just so many tackles and sacks for losses. So many.
Yeah, it was on both sides of the ball at the beginning. I'm sitting there thinking, man, their front four is, going toe to toe with our front four on the defensive side. And then I don't know if it was I think they made an adjustment as far as play calling, but we started, moving Jimmy out of the pocket a little bit, doing a lot of play action, and that just was lethal in the second half particularly. So it's crazy.
How many times are they going to...
What's crazy to me is, like, we have been so bad, and both teams were especially bad on third down, like horrendous on third down the entire game. We actually achieved a fourth down conversion before we did a third down conversion. I don't know. It was a fucked up game. Just all around, it was fucked up. Rodgers throws for 104 yards. Like, we actually had 117 rushing yards, which seems strange, but...
I said this earlier. I was like... Why didn't we could have literally run the ball the whole game and had a better shot? Would give us more time of possession and better shots at first downs.
It's interesting because a couple teams, the Rams did it early, Cardinals did it early the first time we played them, but teams had success running the ball against us early, and for whatever reason, they abandoned it. And I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it's an adjustment we make on defense or what, but that's not the first time I've seen that where I'm thinking, man, we can't stop anything on the run, and then something changes. I don't know.
Well, dude, check this out. Like, and honestly, looking back over the stats for the game, it wasn't like, I mean, it was obviously you guys dominated us, but it didn't seem like that out of hand, right? Like, total yards, San Francisco 339, Green Bay 198. Like, you had definite edge passing 227 to 81, but rushing yards 112 to 117. This is the big one. Yards per play 7.5 to 2.8. And then third down conversion. You guys had 33%. We had 6%. Not 16. 6. And we even had the ball for 10 minutes longer than you guys did. And 4 less penalties. You guys had 9 penalties. We had 5. I don't understand. Like, we had the ball, but apparently did fuck all with it.
We had a lot of drives that were long due to penalties, but we weren't actually doing anything. There were several drives where we were like, all right, run the ball, get a penalty. We would get a penalty or we'd get sacked on it, be like 3rd and 30. And then we'd get a first down off of it after all we did was lose 25 yards. Get a first down, get a bunch of more time run off the clock, and then punt because there were no more penalties to give us more first downs.
I kept telling Mrs. RamJam, I was like, on both sides of the ball, there was way too many flags being thrown in this game. It seemed like the first half took forever.
Yeah,
it seemed like the whole game, this game was just being slowed down by flags. It seemed like almost every other play.
I read, someone made a good point. I think it was probably the Packers.com inbox again that I read every day. But someone commented something about like that Devontae Adams unnecessary roughness. And they said something to the effect that, from the very beginning of the game, the refs made it known that they weren't going to control the thing. And that's what
Reynolds rap alert.
Well,
Reynolds rap alert.
That's what it seemed like in the first half, right? There were a lot of calls. And then don't forget that Jimmy Graham incomplete pass. Don't fuck around because don't give me that look, Jeezy, because you texted me after the game and said your mind was still blown by that.
It was. That was a catch. That was a pivotal possession there. Still before we're getting blown out, before it's a 4-score game, we had a shot to have it in scoring possession.
That was on third down, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was big catch. Did you see that play? He takes 2 steps and he turns, which could be argued to be a football move, and the ball doesn't pop out really until he's on the ground after his knee is already touched.
He landed on his back, kind of, and the ground cannot cause a fumble anyways. That's a rule. And even Chris Collinsworth was like, "Yeah, that's a catch. That's 2 steps, football move. Like." That's a catch.
I was surprised they didn't challenge that one, to be honest with you.
But my thing is I told Jeezy the same thing in real time. I said, why would you? Because the way that they're reviewing things this year, I have yet to see the NFL like consistently go, sorry, we made a mistake. They just fucking double down on everything. They double down on what's called on the field. And like, there's going to be a pivotal point here where like at some point when a play like this happens, a challenge situation, what you should do is completely throw the ruling on the field out, because if you're going to replay to solve it, you don't know what the fuck happened on the field anyways. So just throw the ruling out on the field, solve it in the video. But I digress.
Goes back the clear and obvious, which makes everybody's head hurt.
I got to say, although I was completely wrong on time of possession being the key to this game, the turnovers and carefulness with the ball is exactly what I think won the day here.
There's 1 turnover in the first drive.
Say what you will, but that was a huge momentum shift. We came out looking nervous, which I didn't understand. And when that happened, it was just like the water broke loose. We did not do anything good from that moment on. And that's basically right at the beginning of the game. What were you saying, Ramsey?
Did you say that we broke our water? Do you need to rush us to the hospital immediately to give birth to a giant shit child?
That game was a giant turd for sure.
Fucking our water broke. Yeah, no, I mean, now, we talked about it a little later. We recorded the earlier part of the show already, so we'll talk about this later. But the true test, I think, for the 49ers, because the Packers' defense has been suspect for the past long time this season. The true test is going to be when you guys take on the Ravens next week. Because actually, I was actually just watching the Ravens-Rams game before we got back on the call, and they looked fucking good.
I was saying to Van that the winner of that game is the best team in the NFL. There's no question in my mind. Whoever wins has earned the undisputed best team in the NFL.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Look, you can argue that is not the best team in the NFL, but I will say you're wrong.
Also, I will have to admit, obviously, RamJam, I was very wrong about all my predictions, obviously. Jimmy G did throw 2 touchdowns, right? Was it 2?
2.
So I was right about that. I was wrong about 2 picks. I was wrong about the score. I was wrong about the winner. Basically, all I got right was that Jimmy G had 2 touchdowns.
No, he kind of, I don't know if he was listening or what, but I remember saying last week that realistically he would have 1 turnover, either a fumble or interception, and he proved me wrong. Only 227 yards passing, but, I mean, taking care of the football I thought was crucial. You know, not having any turnovers, not having any momentum swings at all, I thought was huge.
There was one slight momentum shift, and by the way, that 227 includes sack yards, so he threw for more than that, obviously. But there was one potential momentum shift in the third quarter when we went down and scored a touchdown, 2-point conversion. Devontae Adams celebrated when we're down by 30 points, and all I could think back was to Tion, who authorized this?
You're right.
Who authorized this? But there was that small momentum shift. And then after that, you guys come out and like fucking 75-yard bomb to whoever the fuck, touchdown. Like,
Kittle.
Was it Kittle?
Kittle,
yeah. Just ridiculous, like 2-play, 75-yard drive. And then any momentum we had was just like, all right, come on, Tim Boyle, fill in for Rodgers.
That's pretty much all the time we got. But RamJam, as the winner of this, I will give you the last word.
Yeah, like I said, appreciate the opportunity to come here on the show. I think that, I can't say for sure, there's always going to be some critics out there, but I think after this game, most of the critics have been silent, if not all of them.
I can think of 2 that aren't quite silenced.
Oh no, I'm pretty quiet right now. I'm fucking quiet right now.
Just kidding.
I can't really tell, RamJam, if that was like complimentary trash talk. I don't even know. Like 49ers fans aren't even good at trash talk.
Oh shit!
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while. We're a little rusty.
It's been a while since I have talked some trash in sports. It's been a while since I said I'm sorry that I beat the Packers' ass. It's been a while.
Gee, who turned on the solo light?
I don't know if you know this, my solo light is always on. Say something mean, RamJam. Say something like actual trash talk.
Well, let's see.
I
got nothing. I'm so bad at this. Here's all I'll say, that there's a new sheriff in the NFC. That's what I'll say.
Fuck.
That's not even any.
There's a new sheriff in town.
All right, fine.
RamJam, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for, I don't even know if I would call it shit talk, maybe poop slandering.
That sounds like way grosser.
It sounds like monkeys throwing feces at each other.
Like, it almost sounds like something you would find in a diaper, right? I can't say for sure, but you probably can, RamJam.
Yeah.
Do they teach you that in my parenting classes, like poop slandering?
Yeah, that was part of the pre-child classes that you take.
Maybe instead of calling ass whoopings during the we can call poop slanderings. Poop slandering.
It's to keep your child from learning dirty language. It's like an alternative for shit talking, poop slandering.
Well, with that, that's the end of the Packers section. We'll see what happens after that. Thank you. Welcome to the gossip section.
Continuing on with the sadness, bringing this shit down. From ESPN.com, ex-Vikings kicker Fred Cox, inventor of the Nerf football, dies at age 80.
Fudge.
He's actually the Vikings' all-time leading scorer.
It's Nerf or nothing.
Didn't miss a game in 15 seasons for the Vikings from 63 to 77, finishing his career with 1,365 points, leading the Vikings in scoring for 11 consecutive seasons. He won the final NFL championship game in 1969 and went to 4 Super Bowls with the Vikings, all losses. When he retired, he was second in NFL history in scoring behind George Blanda, who also played quarterback, and had made 282 field goals. He was a chunky dude. You see this picture? Chunky dude, hairy-ass arms, and old school kicker with just the one single bar across his face.
Heck yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I wish they still did that. I feel like they still did that up to pretty recently, like until they got rid of it. Like I remember, like Morton Anderson had just a single bar for a while still. Anyways, apparently in 1972, he had the idea of a soft football to prevent leg injuries to kids. So he and a partner, local entrepreneur, took a mold of a football, injected it with foam, and the result was the Nerf football.
That's pretty swaggy.
I just remember, and my favorite thing, the thing I'll always remember as a child, the Nerf howlers. You remember the Nerf ball?
The football with the tail on it?
And when you threw it, it went...
I like the ones. Did you have the ones with the like glow-in-the-dark pieces on it?
Yes.
That was the best. You could throw that howling thing at night.
But I had like the original orange one with the blue fins on it, and you threw it, and it's...
But the one with the glow in the dark, you go out at night and you throw it, and you can kind of see it, and because you can hear it, it's like perfect for getting hit with the ball, but not actually catching it.
That's exactly right. Fun fact, like cheat code here: if you grabbed it by the tail and whipped it, like throwing it by the tail instead of like a football, it went way further.
Oh, I knew. That's how we used it.
Do you remember playing 500 with that ball?
I never played 500 with that one. I don't think.
You never played 500 with that ball?
I don't think so.
I also remember losing my Nerf Vortex. It was a Nerf Vortex. I lost it on top of the roof at Jefferson Lighthouse Elementary. And one day a year, the janitor went up on top of the roof and like threw all the balls back into the playground. And it was just the best day ever. Like, can you imagine just like it raining kickballs and baseballs and fucking footballs and Nerf Vortexes that got lost? And
that sounds like quite a precipitous event.
It was wonderful. Anyways,
raining balls.
Sad news to hear.
Very sad.
Very sad.
News that is not necessarily sad, but has me a bit on edge. According to 12up.com, Packers wide receiver Davante Adams sold his condo in Wisconsin.
Well, okay, he sold his he sold his condo in Ledgeview, which apparently he bought from Randall Cobb in 2015. He sold it for almost $250,000. He sold it for $240K, giving him a profit, about $35,000 profit he made. But he's already purchased a place in De Pere in May. So like he's had it for a while. He's been looking to sell this. So not super worried. I'm more worried about his play on the damn field. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm just saying, last person who owned that condo did not stick around much longer.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Randall Cobb, obviously.
Okay, Davante's not going anywhere. Don't fucking kid yourself.
I don't want to. I'm not kidding myself. Look, man, I've had a lot of bad news about my team lately. I'm just trying to brace myself.
Okay, well, where he bought that place in De Pere, Packers president Mark Murphy also has a house for sale. So are we worried about Mark Murphy leaving the team? No.
Well, I wouldn't be as worried if Mark Murphy left the team, honestly. So there.
Fine. I think everything's fine. He's not going anywhere. So that's that. Speaking of things that are not fine.
Not fine.
Very poor taste. Browns fans.
Oh, Brown clowns.
The Brown clowns actually being fucking clowns on this one. I saw a video on Facebook. Someone made a Mason Rudolph piñata and a bunch of drunk ass Browns fans tailgating, swinging a helmet at it. They looked like they like got drunk and like did the game where like you'd put your head on the forehead on the bat and you spin in circles and get yourself dizzy and then try and do something. It looked like that, but with a helmet and a Mason Rudolph piñata and just swinging at it.
The shit is ridiculous. The video, I'm saying, they are yelling. It's like a full-on mob around this piñata on a stick. And it's also just a piñata on a stick. It's like a guy moving around, like literally risking his own life.
As this lady is like twirling in circles, about to fall down,
like
just wildly swinging a helmet.
Just uncoordinated and everywhere, swinging it. Still safer than what happened to actual Mason Rudolph.
I also saw a really bad meme today, too, that was like Aaron Rodgers handing his helmet to a ref for some reason. And it said, just go ahead and Myles Garrett me and put me out of my misery.
Oh.
Brown clowns, you've made a turnaround for me here. Figure this shit out. Be better, brown clown fans.
Yeah, get it together. Be respectable for once.
Get your shit together.
Anyway, with that, let's move on to the primetime picks. Because of Thanksgiving, we have a handful of extra primetime games. And we got Thanksgiving, the 12:30 game, Bears versus Lions.
I'm taking the Lions. They look terrible, but it's Thanksgiving, and the Lions usually perform really well on Thanksgiving because that's like their thing.
I know it's their thing, but I just can't put any faith in the Lions. I will take the Chicago Bears playing as the visitors in Detroit.
Fine.
You know what? You know what did it for me? The Lions lost the scrimmage. They lost the scrimmage against the Redskins.
Hey man, exhibition games can be pretty tough. So,
also on Thanksgiving, the 4:30 game, we're looking at the Bills playing in Arlington, Texas, against those Dallas Cowboys.
Man, the Cowboys are looking pretty bad right now. Give me the Bills.
I gotta say that the Cowboys are gonna bounce back. The Cowboys are not good at playing in bad weather. They played in New England. They looked bad, but I don't think they were as bad as they looked. I'm going to take them boys.
Have you also seen these 10-year challenges, like people posting like what they looked like in 2009 versus 2019? I saw one of the Cowboys, side-by-side panels, 2009, 2019. And the 2009 one is Tony Romo sitting on the bench with his head in his hands. And the 2019 one is Dak Prescott sitting on the bench with his head in his hands.
Them boys.
I saw a similar one for the Vikings. It was 2009 empty trophy case, 2019 empty trophy case.
Okay, Thursday. Oh shit, this rematch. We've got the Saints headed off to play the Falcons on Thanksgiving at 8:20.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, the Saints won't let it happen. Saints.
I got to choose the Saints too. The Saints aren't going to lose against them again. Then our Titletown game is the Green Bay Packers headed off to New York to play against the Giants. Well, technically New Jersey, but
it's East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, Pack versus Giants. It's the Pack, baby.
Yeah.
About to bounce back.
I agree, but also a high potential to be a trap game.
I mean,
as are the Redskins the week after that. Like, the one saving grace is that our schedule coming up is it's pretty soft. Like, we go Giants at 2-9, Redskins at 2-9, Bears at 5-6, Vikings at 8-3, and then Lions at 3-7-1. So, when I looked at the schedule after the bye week, before this past 49ers game, I thought to myself, we should split the Vikings 49ers games, and we should end up 13-3.
I like the sound of 13-3. You just got to be careful, because whenever you head into a soft schedule knowing it's a soft schedule, that's how you end up losing one of those games that you're supposed to win.
Trap game, yep.
Anyway,
I'm
taking the Pack.
Yep.
We got a very interesting Sunday night game where two of the better teams in the AFC, or two of the best. We got the New England Patriots headed down to Houston to face the Texans.
Give me the Texans, man.
Man, the Texans at home,
now,
I do like the sound of that.
The Patriots defense has been stout, but Brady has looked like shit.
Yeah, they've not looked great on offense. They don't really have any wide receivers.
Old. He looks old.
He don't really have too many wide receivers over there, but I think I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm just going to split it again. I'm going to take the Patriots. The Patriots are going to show up, and the defense and special teams will win them another game. That's what it's been. That's what they've had to do is they've had to run some time off the clock and let the special teams and defense win.
It's okay that you're wrong, Texans.
Next Monday night, we've got an excellent game. Very interesting matchup. We've got the Minnesota Vikings headed to Seattle facing off against the Seahawks.
I mean, it's not that interesting. They're both good record teams, but we're talking the Seahawks at home, prime time, Russell Wilson playing as well as he is. It's a pretty obvious choice, taking the Hawks.
I mean, Russell Wilson's not looked as good the last week or so. Nonetheless, I think the Seahawks will pull it out and beat up them Vikings. I will take the Hawks as well there.
Good.
So then, what are our wild card picks here?
Well, I guess this is a wild card one, but I got to it first, so I'm gonna ask you. Sunday, 1 o'clock, 49ers at Ravens.
Ooh. Playing in Baltimore, I guess this is where we're going to find out if that defense from the 49ers is as good as we think it is, because
wasn't that what the Packers game was supposed to be?
It was, but I mean, our O-line got banged up in there, and it was just after that, it just turned into a sieve. It was nothing. It was done.
Talk about it anymore.
Give me the flock, baby. Give me the flock.
If I was picking, I would agree with you.
Those are arguably, in my opinion, those are the best two teams in the NFL right now.
Yes, you're right.
It's the best NFC team versus the best AFC team.
You're 100% correct.
But, And I think whoever wins that game takes the title of best team in the league right now.
Yes.
For you, I'm going to run it back to a game. It's another divisional game that last time saw significant fireworks. I'm talking about your Cleveland Brown Clowns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh.
I knew you were going to pick that game. I knew you were going to.
Sorry about it.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
Fuck it. They've been doing all right for me lately. Clowns. What's the over-under on this one? Helmet swinging. I feel like there probably will be some scuffles for sure. I wonder if they'll sit
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll sit Mason Rudolph.
I think it's very likely that they do.
Anyways, I'm taking the Brown Clowns because.
Sounds right to me. Good luck, but not really. I think the Steelers are going to win, but I was wrong last time. I thought they were going to win last time too.
Well.
And with that, you've been listening to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy.
I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
I liked what I did last week with this. I'm just going to do it again. You know where we are on social media. I'm not going to list it out. It's 2019. We're obviously on Facebook. Just figure it out from there. I'm not going to say them.
We're on Facebook and Twitter and all of your favorite podcast streaming locations. Hit us up on there, baby. And hit us on the cheese line. Text, call, voicemail, get on the show.
What's the number?
980-2-CHEESY.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. In numeric format, that's 980-224-3399.
See, you thought I didn't know the phone number.
I did think you didn't know it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye now.